Hello, and welcome to Social Distancing, the musical review. Indeed, there is no business like show business, even today in this crazy, topsy-turvy world, and we're here to prove it tonight. I am Jim Bumgarner, your host, and it is my greatest pleasure to introduce you to my co-host for the show, Lee Janitis. Welcome, Lee, and thanks for being a part of the show.
Well, I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to see these performances and, also get a chance to chat with you, Jim.
Aww. Now, both Lee and I have a deep love for musical theater, and it has been in our blood forever. Lee, I know you are a musical theater performer, and our audience has got to see you in your amazing performance as the witch in Into the Woods last season. But what was your very first legit performing job?
Well, my first professional job would probably have to be right after I graduated high school. I got hired to do summer stock theater for a full season of repertory, doing lots of different roles. And one of them was as Madge in Picnic, which Bergen Stages put on just last year. Well, how about you, Jim? What was your first professional gig?
Well, believe it or not, I did my very first professional musical production in a themed amusement park, and it was called A Tribute to Broadway, and it was at Pirate Land during the summer between my sophomore and junior year in high school, a little while back. I remember we started performing at noon. Our very first show was at noon, and then we ended the last show at 9 p.m. We did 10 shows a day, every day of the week, all summer long, and I loved every minute of it. Did you do musicals while you were in college?
Oh, yeah. So I was a musical theater major at the University of Michigan, which has this intense training program. And I was in many musicals there. One of them was actually Into the Woods. But this time I was performing as the baker's wife. And interestingly, my baker in that show was Gavin Creel, who went on to perform many roles on Broadway. When he won a Tony, he actually dedicated the award in his speech to our college musical theater program at Michigan, saying how it changed his life and instilled in him an appreciation for what it is to be an artist.
Wow, that is so cool. Well, I went to undergraduate school at St. Andrews University, and theater was so much a part of my identity. My first show, my very first semester, was Fiddler on the Roof, and my final show, my senior, was Scapino. And I cannot imagine undergraduate school without theater. And I'm so glad we have a thriving theater program to offer our students here at Bergen.
Well, absolutely. It's an essential part of not only our students' lives, but I think also the life of the college community and also our local community as well.
Yeah. Lee, I know you and I can go on and on all night talking about our gypsy stories in theater, but this show is to pay tribute to some of our favorite Bergen Stages actors, both current and alumni.
Well, surviving this pandemic has certainly been challenging, and so we wanted to have a chance to celebrate musical theater, even as we keep our social distancing. So our performers tonight are sharing some of their favorite musical theater songs from their virtual oasis.
So sit back and enjoy our Social Distancing, the musical review.
Our first performer is Alana Bronco, who is one of our newest actors to join us at Bergen Stages. We had just about 2 weeks before we were to open Once Upon a Mattress, and then we went into lockdown and had to postpone the performances.
Now, some of you may remember that Once Upon a Mattress was the musical that launched Carol Burnett's career. And others of you might remember the more recent production that the role of Fred was reprised by Sarah Jessica Parker in 1996.
So hopefully, Once Upon a Mattress will be in our 2021-2022 season. We'll talk about a lady in waiting. To give you a treat for what you're in store for when we finally do get to the kingdom, Alana is going to sing Happily Ever After.
They all lived happily, happily, happily ever after. The princess is happily leaving the chapel, eternally tied. As the curtain descends, there is nothing but loving and laughter. When the fairy tale ends, the heroine's always the bride. Ella, the girl of the cinders, did the washing the walls and the windows, but she landed a prince who was brawny and blue-eyed and blonde. Still, I honestly doubt that she could have never done it without that crazy lady with the wand. Cinderella had outside help. I have no one but me. Fairy godmother, 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 where can you be? I haven't got a fairy godmother. I haven't even got a godmother. I have a mother, a plain, ordinary woman. Snow White was so pretty, they tell us that the queen was insulted and jealous when the mirror declared that Snow White was the fairest of all. She was dumped on the border, but was saved by some men who adored her, though I grant you they were small. But there were 7 of them, practically a regiment. I'm alone in the night, by myself, not a dwarf, not an elf, not a goblin in sight. That girl had 7 determined little men working day and night just for her. Sure, the queen gave her a poison apple. Even so, she lived happily, happily, happily ever after. The magical kiss counteracted the apple eventually. And though I'm not clever, I'll do what they tell me I have to. I want some happily ever after to happen to me. Rapunzel had platinum tresses that were double the length of her dresses, but she was kept in a tower for years by a wicked old witch. Till one night in despair down, she scrambled by letting her hair down. That's what I call quite a switch. I wonder. No, it'll never hold. I'll be finished before I begin. And besides, I don't want to get out. I want to get in. I want to live happily, happily, happily ever after. I want to happily leave a chapel eternally tied. For I know that I'll never live happily ever after. Till after I'm a bride, then I'll be happily happy. Yes, happily happy and thoroughly satisfied.
I cannot wait until we get to see Alana doing the role of Winifred the Woebegone on the Saccone stage. She is an amazing talent.
She truly is. And it's been so fun working with her. One of the joys of working on shows here, and anywhere for that matter, is the family and friendships that are created and can live and love on, even after the closing night.
Amanda Saccone has been involved in many shows here at the college, including the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, the 1940s Radio Hour, South Pacific, Company, and pictured here, the Threepenny Opera.
I love that moment when Amanda not only took the stage, but took the dinner table as well when she sang Pirate Jenny. What a showstopper.
And Deshauna Barrett has worked with Amanda on many of those same shows, South Pacific, Company, the Threepenny Opera, and pictured here in the 1940s Radio Hour.
In that show, she played Geneva Lee Brown, a featured performer in the radio show within the show. She melted our hearts every performance when she sang Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered.
This next song is a duet from this amazing friendship. The song is from the movie musical The Greatest Showman and is called This Is Me.
I'm not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send the flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, and I make no apologies. This is me. Oh, oh, oh. Another round of bullets hits my skin. Won't fly away, 'cause today I won't let the shame sink in. We are bursting through the barricades and reaching for the sun. We are glorious. Yeah, that's what we become. I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us. For we are glorious. And the sharpest words wanna cut me down. I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Hey, oh, hey. Oh, this is me. And I know that I deserve your love. There's nothing I'm not worthy of. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. Marching on and on. I make no apologies. And the words won't cut me down. I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. That's right, girl. You look. Stop. Miss you. We miss you guys.
Love you.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Wow. You can see the love these two have for each other as they sing. Thank you, Amanda and Deshauna. Our next performer has graced the stage at BCC on many occasions, but most recently, audiences will remember Christine Dunning in Much Ado About Nothing. What an incredible talent, and how lucky we have been to have her in so many of our wonderful shows, including I Hate Hamlet, Noises Off, and Into the Woods.
Christine is going to be singing a song from the hit Broadway musical Spam-A-Lot. The character is the Lady of the Lake, who by Act 2 seems to have been overlooked in the writing by the Monty Python gang. So she sings this song, Diva's Lament, in hopes that the audience sympathizes with her. Please enjoy Christine Dunning singing Diva's Lament.
Whatever happened to my part? It was exciting at the start. Now we're halfway through Act 2, and I've had nothing yet to do. I've been off stage for far too long. It's ages since I've had a song. This is one unhappy diva. The producers have deceived her. Is there nothing I can sing from my heart? Whatever happened to my part? I am sick of my career, always stuck in second gear, up to here with frustration and with fears. I've no Grammy, no rewards, I've no Tony Awards. I'm constantly replaced by Britney Spears. Britney Spears. Whatever happened to my show? I was a hit, now I don't know. I'm with a bunch of British knights, prancing round in woolly tights. I might as well go to the pub. They've been out searching for a shrub. I'm shopping for a bush. Well, they can kiss my tush. It seems to me they've really lost the plot. Whatever happened to my, I'll call my agent, damn it. Whatever happened to my, not yours, but
What a riot. I love that show. And some of you may have recognized Christine's sidekick on the couch, April Macchio, who has also appeared in many Bergen Stages productions, including one of my favorites, The Shape of Things.
They're Playing Our Song opened on Broadway in February 1979, starring Robert Klein and Lucille Arnaz in her Broadway debut. It tells the story of a composer falling in love with his new lyricist and sings Fallen.
Jason Verhague is an incredibly gifted performer that we've had the great fortune to have here at the college. It's always great to watch him perform. Some of his past shows have been Kinder Transport, which happened to be the very first production that I directed here at the college, Other People's Money, The Threepenny Opera, The Exonerated, Noise is Off, to name just a few. But one of my favorites will always be Jason as Jesus in our production of Godspell.
We are so fortunate to have Jason singing Fallen from They're Playing Our Song.
I'm afraid to fly, and I don't know why. I'm jealous of the people who are not afraid to die. It's just that I recall back when I was small, someone promised that they'd catch me, and then they let me fall, and now I'm falling fast again. Why do I always take a fall when I fall in love? You'd think by now I'd learn, play with fire, you get burned. But fire can be also warm, and that's why I turn and walk away. That's what I should do. My head says go and find the door. My heart says I found you, and now I'm falling fast again. Why do I always take a fall when I fall in love? It always turns out the same. Loving someone, losing myself, only got me to blame. Help me, I'm falling. Catch me if you can. Maybe this time I'll have it all. Maybe I'll make it after all. Maybe this time I won't fall when I fall in love.
I had the great fortune to work with Janine Conrad last year in the Bergen Stage's production of Into the Woods when I played the witch and Janine played Jack's mother. I also had the pleasure to direct Jean in a production of The Vagina Monologues in March 2019 as a part of Women's History Month.
Janine is a BCC alum, along with her husband, Dan Conrad. I remember I met them both when I first started teaching here at the college, and will always remember Janine as the Snow Queen in our production of A Christmas Carol. I had the pleasure of directing her in our production of Into the Woods last season.
Audiences may remember her in many of our productions, including the comedy Crimes of the Heart. Today, we are thrilled to have the chance to hear Janine sing Stars and the Moon from Jason Robert Brown's musical, Songs for a New World.
I met a man without a dollar to his name, who had no traits of any value but his smile. I met a man who had no yearn or claim to fame, who was content to let life pass him for a while. And I was sure that all I ever wanted was a life like the movie stars led. But he kissed me right here and he said, I'll give you stars and the moon and a soul to guide you and a promise I'll never go. I'll give you hope to bring out all the life inside you and a strength that will help you grow. I'll give you truth and a future that's 20 times better than any Hollywood plot. And I thought, I'd rather have a yacht. I met a man who lived his life out on the road, who left a wife and kids in Portland on a whim. I met a man whose fire and passion always showed, who asked if I could spare a week to ride with him. And I was sure that all I ever wanted was a life that was scripted and planned. But he said, but you don't understand. I'll give you stars and the moon and the open highway and a river beneath your feet. I'll give you day full of dreams if you travel my way and a summer you can't repeat. I'll give you nights full of passion and days of adventure. No strings, just warm summer rain. And I thought, I'd rather have champagne. I met a man who had a fortune in the bank, who had retired at age 30, set for life. I met a man and didn't know which stars to thank, and then he asked one day if I would be his wife. And I looked up, and all that I could think of was a life I had dreamt I would live. And I said to him, what will you give? I'll give you cars and a townhouse in Turtle Bay and a fur and a diamond ring. And we'll be married in Spain on my yacht today, and we'll honeymoon in Beijing. And you'll meet stars at the parties I throw in my villas in Nice and Paris in June. And I thought, okay, And I took a breath and I got my yacht. And the years went by and it never changed and it never grew and I never dreamed. And I woke one day and I looked around and I thought, my God, I'll never have the moon.
Ah, what a great song. And what a great show. Jim, maybe Bergen Stages should think about adding that one to our season sometime soon. Some great music.
Great idea. Let's put it on the list. Now, John Cepeda is one of my favorite performers here at the college. He's been involved in musicals and plays, but I best remember him singing about his unfortunate erection in the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. That was directed by Professor Mary Clifford.
And some will remember John in other shows here at the college, including the Agatha Christie murder mystery, The Mousetrap, Cabaret, and the 1940s Radio Hour.
We are fortunate to have John sing a beautiful song from a very little-known musical called Amélie that ran for about a month and a half on Broadway in 2017. But out of the show came some beautiful songs, including this one John is singing for us called When the Booth Light Goes Bright.
What do you see when the booth goes bright in the blinding light? When the flash tries to find you, every photo of every face is a diamond place that you leave behind. There's the girl you were, there's your trip abroad, there's your father's smile, there's the face of God, there is everything that you were and still want to be. What do you see when the booth goes bright? There's the girl from the factory, and she's on your knee, though you've known her a week. You're both so shy, but she makes you laugh. In that photograph where she kisses your cheek, there's when she said yes, there's the next 10 years. There's the loneliness when she disappears. There's the face you still remember, though no longer know. Where do you go? When the booth goes bright, where do you go when you're out of you? What's the use in trying to hide or tearing yourself in two when you leave yourself behind? Every piece becomes another clue. Pull the curtain tight and adjust the seat. Lean into the light, don't forget to breathe. Someday your travels should bring you to me. I'll see what you see when the booth goes bright.
John, that was amazing. And speaking of amazing, Christina Craig is going to be singing What Baking Can Do from the Tony Award-winning musical Waitress. I had the pleasure of directing Christina in 2 productions here at BCC.
Oh, I loved seeing Christina in the Bergen Stage's production of Guys and Dolls. She brought such dimension to the character of Sarah that you don't get to see very often. And I loved working with Christina in Into the Woods when she played the character of Cinderella. What a voice. Here's Christina singing What Baking Can Do.
Make it work, make it easy, make it clever, craft it into pieces, make it sweet, print the edges, make it sour, serve with lemon wedges, evened out, can be delicious, and it washes all the dirty dishes. When it's done, I can smile, it's on someone else's plate for a while. I'll place it on display, and then I'll slice and serve my worries away. I can fix this up, I can twist it into sugar, butter, covered pieces. Never mind what's underneath it, I have done it before. Oh, bake me a door to help me get through. I learned that from you, Mama. It's amazing what baking can do. Fix it up and surprise them. Tell them all my secrets, but disguise them. So we dance on the tongues of the very people, but their secrets wrong. Make it soon, make it better. Though better never lasts forever. I'll make it small, so if it's even this, even now, even as the walls come tumbling down, even as I can't stop remembering how every door we ever made, we never once walked out. Something I never got the chance to ask her about. So with flour on my hands, I'll show them all how goddamn happy I am. Sugar, butter, flour, don't let me down. Let's see the next amazing thing baking does now.
Gosh, I miss everyone so much. I can't wait until we can be together mounting new productions.
From your lips to God's ears. Hopefully soon. But we have been having some fun working with so many of our actors recording old radio shows with our Bergen Stages Radio Theater on your YouTube channel. Lee, you've been involved in many of them too.
Well, I have. Some of my favorites have been performing in Jane Eyre. It's always fun to do a British accent. I also really love The Shop Around the Corner, which was adapted from a play. The story was also turned into a romantic comedy film, and later it was adapted into one of my favorite musicals, She Loves Me.
Yeah. And speaking of favorites, the next performer walked into my life at auditions for the 1940s Radio Hour, where he won the role of Sinatra wannabe Johnny Cantone. And Philip Hackett went on to star in 3 more of our productions, playing Macheath in The Threepenny Opera, Emile Debec in South Pacific,
and my favorite, Bobby in Company. Reprising that role today, Philip sings the climactic song Being Alive. in which his character comes to terms with his need to find someone to share his life with, and that relationships are better to be living in than watching from the outside.
What do you get? Someone to hold you too close, someone to hurt you too deep, someone to sit in your chair, to ruin your sleep, to make you aware of being alive, being alive. Someone to need you too much, someone to know you too well, someone to pull you up short, to put you through hell, to give you support for being alive, being alive, being alive. Someone you have to let in, someone whose feelings you spare, someone who, like it or not, will want you to share a little, a lot of being alive, being alive. Someone to crowd you with love, someone to force you to care, someone to make you come through, who'll always be there, as frightened as you, of being alive, being alive, being alive, being alive. Blow out the candles, Robbie. Make a wish. Want something. Want something. Somebody hold me too close. Somebody hurt me too deep. Somebody sit in my chair and ruin my sleep and make me aware of being alive, being alive. Somebody need me too much, somebody know me too well, somebody pull me up short and put me through hell and give me support for being alive, make me alive, make me alive, make me confused, mock me with praise, let me be used, vary my days, but alone is alone, not alive. Somebody crowd me with love, somebody force me to care, somebody make me come through, I'll always be there, as frightened as you, to help us survive, being alive, being alive, being alive.
The new Broadway gender-bending production of Company has been postponed due to the pandemic. I only hope it has a chance to revive its critically acclaimed run.
With Katrina Lenk as Bobby. Fingers crossed it will reopen.
Definitely. And another person I would like to see on stage again is Nori Witt. Nori is another newcomer to Bergen Stage and was in our magical production of Into the Woods, playing one of Cinderella's stepsisters.
What a beautiful voice Nori has, and how lucky we are today to have her share it with us. She's singing a part of that from Jason Patrick Brown's musical, The Last 5 Years. The musical only has 2 actors who tell about their 5-year relationship, but the big thing is it is told non-linearly. The character Nori is singing starts at the end of the relationship and works backwards in time, and the role of Jamie begins at the start of the relationship and works to the end at the same time. I know, it sounds confusing, but it really isn't.
Well, this song that Nori's going to sing takes place about 2 years into the marriage, and Nori's character, Kathy, is feeling like she's being a little ignored because of Jamie's writing career has taken off, but she still loves him as she sings a part of that.
One day we're just like Leave It to Beaver. One day it's just a typical life. Then he goes off on a trip to Jamie Land, staring catatonic out the window, barely even breathing all the while. But then he'll smile, his eyes light up, and deep within the ground, without a sound, a moment comes to life, and I'm a part of that. I'm a part of that. I'm a part of that. Next day it's just like it never happened. We're making dinners, we're making plans. Then he gets on the mule train to Jamie Land, handful after handful of Doritos, circling the apartment, logging miles. But then he'll smile, his eyes light up, and how can I complain? Yes, he's insane, but look what he can do. And I'm a part of that. I'm a part of that. I'm a part of that. And it's true, I tend to follow in his stride. Instead of side by side, I take his cue. True, that there's no question, there's no doubt. I said I'd stick it out and follow through. And when I do, then he smiles. And where else can I go? I didn't know. The rules do not apply. And he smiles, and nothing else makes sense, while he invents the world that's passing by. And I'm a part of that. I'm a part of that. I'm a part of that, aren't I? And I'm a part of that. I'm a part of that. I'm a part of that.
How lucky we are here to have so many talented performers on our stage. Having a show like this allows us to showcase some of the many who have shared their talents with us.
And one I cannot wait for you to hear is Ray Parente. Now, my first memory of Ray was in our production of Brighton Beach Memoirs, his very first semester, his very first month in his very first semester here at the college. From then, he went on to do performances in Company, Noises Off, and Much Ado About Nothing.
What a pleasure it is to have Ray singing St. Jimmy from the musical American Idiot. The Green Day musical opened on Broadway in April of 2010. In this song, the character of Johnny has become his alter ego, St. Jimmy.
St. Jimmy's coming down across the alleyway. Up on the boulevard, the zip gun on parade. Light up the silhouette, he sends a button coming at you on the count of 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. My name is Jimmy and you can now wear it out. Since I come out of that your mama talked about. Who nothing funny views I'm here to represent. That we know in a vein of the establishment. I'm the patron saint of the denial. With an angel face and a taste for suicidal. She walks a woman and a little baby doll. I am the son of Chin Edgar Allan Poe. Raised in the city on the heroic lights. The party gone good and we've been victimized. I'm the patron saint of the denial. With an angel face and a taste for suicidal. You talking to me? I'll give you something to cry about. St. Jimmy! My name is St. Jimmy, I'm the son of a gun. I'm the one that's from the way outside now. A teenage assassin executing some fun in the cult on the life of crime now. I really hate to say it, but I told you so. So shut your mouth before I shoot you down, oh boy. Welcome to the club of Give Me Some Blood. I'm the resident leader of the lost and found. It's comedy and tragedy. It's St. Jimmy, and that's my name. And don't wear it out.
What an incredible performance. Ray never ceases to amaze me with his talents. And we've been so lucky to have him be part of the Bergen Stages family. And talking about part of the family, we were so blessed to have you perform as the witch in Into the Woods. It was such a joy to work with you on that show. And you were assisting me on Once Upon a Mattress last spring. And it was fun to watch your directing talents shine. You're also going to be directing a virtual play reading in March of Sarah Ruhl's play Eurydice. Can you tell us a bit about that show?
Yeah, so those who love musicals might be familiar with the Orpheus and Eurydice myth because it's the basis for Hadestown, the 2019 Tony Award winner for Best Musical. But the play Eurydice by Sarah Ruhl is another and a different reimagining of that myth. And it adds in the character of Eurydice's father. It's a beautiful and it's a wonderfully weird play. The way that she depicts the underworld is reminiscent of a dream or Alice in Wonderland. It deals with love and loss, death and memory, and the connections that we share. We're just starting the rehearsal process with our fantastic Bergen actors. We will have a live Facebook watch party of the performance on March 3rd, so everyone should keep an eye out for that.
Absolutely. And now I have the pleasure of introducing you as our final performer in our Social Distancing, the musical review. You'll be singing Human Heart from the musical Once on This Island. And it's at this point in the story that Urzuli, the goddess of love, gives Timon and Daniel the gift of love, despite all the gossip in the town about the two different worlds that they come from. So here's Legionitis singing Human Heart.
The courage of a dreamer, the innocence of youth, the failures and the foolishness that lead us to the truth, the hopes that make us happy, the hopes that don't come true, and all the love that ever was. I see this all in you. You are part of the human heart. You are part of all who took the journey and managed to endure. The ones who knew such tenderness, the ones who felt so sure, the ones who came before you, the others yet to come, and those who you will teach it to, and those you learned it from. You are part of the human heart. You are part. This is the gift I give. Through your love, you'll live forever. 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 You are part. Tonight. Tonight. Part of the human heart.
Oh, how fun to be able to sing that song. For me, it really speaks to the connections that we can make with one another, even across generations and distances. That feels especially important to remember in these times when we need to stay apart to stay safe.
So important. Now, we know this era of COVID won't last forever, and we can rest assured that we will be together performing on stage live again very, very soon. And we will all celebrate together as a theater family. Lee, thank you for co-hosting the show tonight and being a part of Bergen Stages. And thanks to all of our performers and to Marianne Coe, Jim Quimby, and everyone at Media Technologies. And a special thank you to Oliver Hancock's our stage manager.
Stay safe, everyone. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and keep your social distance.
We will see everyone again soon, hopefully in person. And stay tuned for social distancing too. The music continues this spring. Thank you for watching.